We mentioned Isaiah James, too. She's coming off 22 points in that contest against Tennessee in the second round to lead the Wolfpack. But looking at Stanford, the two post players, they said, we got to give confidence to our guards today.
Well, the thing that Cameron Brink talked about is the guards are going to have to put pressure on that perimeter and be the rim protector.
One of these teams moving on to the Elite Eight. The drop-off, cut into the basket. Elena Bozgana. This NC State team, you mentioned it, Carolyn, started the season unranked. They were picked to finish 8th in the ACC. And what did they do? They went on and started the season 14-0.
They've got tremendous talent, and especially not just the guards, but River Baldwin had a really breakout season when they went to the Virgin Islands.
Cameron Brink got it back for Stanford. Stanford's motto, meanwhile, has been best year ever. They've been living up to that after an early exit last year in the tournament. The dump off to Kiki Iriafen, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Iriafen. Well, Stanford, led by a legend. Tara Vanderveer has more wins than anyone in men's or women's basketball history. She has found a way to get her team back to the Sweet 16.
And I love hearing the stories, Tara Vanderveer, and how she supports other women that are coaching. And it's not just basketball, but across the sports community.
So Kiki Iriafen is subbed out after that first foul. Isaiah James, okay, with a little flash.
Now look, these two programs, they're contrasting. We talked about the posts for Stanford, the guards for North Carolina State, and it's not that they have to get assists. They've got players that can create their own shot.
And that's going to be an offensive foul on Hannah Jump.
Watch the balance of Isaiah James. She takes Lapolo, little old school show and bring it back, and then drop it in the bottom of the net.
She's had 20 or more points in 2 of their last 4 games. She averages 16 points on the season to lead the pack. Rivers going inside to River Baldwin. And Cameron Brink shuts that down, bringing it up the floor.
Don't you love the versatility of Brink, the ability to rebound it, bring it. That's 6'3" talent right there.
I think a lot of people in the WNBA would love to have that on their team.
Well, I shortened her, and she's 6'4".
Don't be shorting her.
Right? And Brink can shoot the 3 as well. I know GMs are keeping an eye to see when she will be available in the WNBA draft.
She's a 3-time Defensive Player in the Year in the Pac-12 and already has a couple of blocks in this game. Brink a bit short on the turnaround. Here's Sanaya Rivers. The crossover, the bucket. You know, watching her from her freshman year at South Carolina to now, totally different. And I'm talking off the court, too. What a vocal leader.
Her maturity has just stepped up leaps and bounds. The confidence that she has on the floor, you watch her in transition. She didn't even have numbers, but had the ability to finish. But Cameron Brink still the defensive stopper, the NCAA leader in block shots. Brink with the defense and then bring it to the other end.
Bounces around and out for Brink. River Baldwin is there for the rebound. Mimi Collins trying to show off her range, a bit short.
And that's what NC State's going to have to do. They're going to have to be able to knock down those perimeter shots because Cameron Brink's going to make it difficult on the inside.
Yeah, no Kiki Iriafen in the game. If you're just tuning in, she picked up an early foul and was subbed out quickly. Stanford back inside to Brink. So patient, but the shot rattles out, and Brooke Dimitri, who was the hero in the second round, gets the rebound.
See, with Dimitri on the floor, she can stretch the defense. You got to respect her from the three-point line, number 21 in white.
Especially after that second round 3 that she hit against Iowa State to go back up late in the game. James, little step back, okay.
And James came off that ball screen. She recognized, just didn't go into her shot, but read what Cameron Brink was going to do.
Hannah Jump looking for the three. She's Stanford's career three-point leader. Rebound by Mimi Collins. Madison Hayes will come get it, and now NC State can reset.
NC State's got options. You got James coming from one side. You have Rivers on the other.
River Baldwin blocked by Brink. That's 3 blocks in the opening minutes for Cameron Brink. Well, Westmore in his 11th season, again, a team that was unranked in the preseason and then went on and started the season 14-0. He said, yeah, that went over UConn. That was a pretty big moment for our program.
Well, would that not build any team's confidence in the way that they were able to go out and play? Sanaya Rivers, 33 points in that game. I think that gave her a lot of confidence to be the leader of this team.
This NC State program, 9 straight 20-win seasons. That's tied for the longest streak in program history as Jump overshoots. Rivers too much on the layup. And it's tied up by Mimi Collins. Possession will stay with the Wolfpack. Early on in the Sweet 16, one of these teams will advance to Sunday here in Portland. A much different story in the second round this year for Stanford compared to last year. Tara Vanderveer picked up her 100th career win in the NCAA tournament. She described that game as hotter than snot in the post-game press conference.
It's pretty hot.
Brooke, you were there. What did you see out of Stanford in that second round overtime win?
Well, first of all, I'd say that description was very accurate.
Yes.
Because that was the most unbelievable game to watch out of this tournament. And you just felt like the atmosphere kept going, raising up, and all of a sudden Maples Pavilion just standing up on their feet. And the most unlikely of players, when Brooke Dimitri hit that shot, I thought the place was going to explode. I mean, it was one elite play after the next. It was physical without being dirty. It was respectful. It was an incredible basketball game to witness. And I know a lot of people stayed up late watching that one, so we appreciate y'all.
Oh, look, I was one of those. I was Central Time, and I kept saying,
yes, you were.
Okay, I'm going to go to sleep. I think I know how it's going to end, but you could not go to bed. You could not turn that game off.
Brooke Dimitri picks up the foul there, but yeah, had the big three-point shot. Coach Vanderveer said that was such an important game for them. It was a statement game, and what she loved the most was she saw great energy amongst her team throughout the whole game. Great positive energy that helped fuel them to that win.
Well, you also had Kiki Ariafen that had 41 points.
Was that it?
And 16 rebounds.
Let's go. Ariafen still on the bench now. She picked up an early foul and was subbed out quickly in this game.
And now Mimi Collins is the 5 for NC State. Cameron Brink's got to get a lot of touches.
There it is for Hannah Jump. Missed her first 2, but the third one right on target. 362 career made threes. That's first in Stanford history. Talana Lapolo up ahead to Brooke Dimitri with the mid-range game.
Momentum has swung into Stanford's favor, especially running in transition. I thought if this was going to be an up-tempo game, that would play to the advantage of NC State. But if Stanford can make the Wolfpack have to execute in the half court, it could be a long night.
Great defense by Dimitri. Rapolo into Brink, and Mimi Collins is whistled for her second foul.
What's key is when NC State, when they send a double team in or they reach in to help with Cameron Brink, then the shooters on the perimeter have to space out and be ready to knock down the three, just like Dimitri.
We mentioned it, Cameron Brink, Kiki Ariafen talked about they have to give their guards confidence. How do they do that as post players?
Well, when the ball comes inside, you got to kick it back out. You've got to show the confidence that you have that in them. And then also on the defensive end, you got to talk to them and you've got to tell them, listen, put the pressure on NC State outside, we've got your back. We will be the rim protectors.
Four seconds here. Jump lets it fly. And Sanaya Rivers up in the air to grab it.
Did you see the transition defense of Stanford? Everybody able to get back and get set.
They go inside to River Baldwin, battling Brink. Baldwin up and in. Her last 8 games, she's averaging over 11 points and over 8 rebounds a game. Up from her season average.
She just got called for the foul there, but she has got to be aggressive offensively, because one of the best ways to defend Cameron Brink is to try to get her in some foul trouble.
NC State in a bit of foul trouble here. Mimi Collins has 2 fouls. And now River Baldwin with her first. Brink is short. She's now missed her last 6 shots.
Now, Brink's got to understand, we just talked about the foul trouble. River Baldwin has one. She can put the ball on the deck and attack. The NC State seems to be a little stagnant offensively.
James leaving it short from the free throw line. Lopolo off. And Cameron Brink comes out of nowhere for the rebound.
And when you are undersized, as NC State is, every time Stanford shoots the basketball, you've got to find somebody to check out.
Madison Hayes waiting on the screen.
Yeah, you can't get inside with the best shot blocker in the nation.
Zoe Brooks, a top freshman, the highest ranked signee in Wolfpack history, misses there, number 35 in red. Under a minute to go in the first quarter. Jump, jump!
You talked about building confidence in the guards. Cameron Brink said, guards, trust me, when the ball comes inside, you space out, I'll give it back to you. And that's created those 3-point opportunities.
She's hit 2 threes. And there's going to be a foul on Aguera of Stanford.
The key for Stanford offense is to get the ball in the paint. The defense shrinks inside, and that allows the 3-point shooters for Stanford to be open outside.
Kiki Irioffen back into the game. She's got 1 foul. And there's going to be a foul before the ball is inbounded. This one on Chloe Clardy, her first.
I've been so excited to see Kiki Irioffen play in person. Again, I saw her earlier this season against Duke, but the numbers that she has put up this season have been mind-blowing. Her improvement, the work she put in the offseason has definitely paid off.
The Pac-12's most improved player. But a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Expect a high ball screen to come. Then you've got shooters that can pop out on both sides. Dimitri on one side, Hannah Jump on the other.
Clardy taking her time, now she'll go. And it's tipped up in the air by Brooks. So 3.9 on the shot clock, 4.7 on the game clock.
Now expect a pick-the-picker action from Stanford. Well, they went with the X.
Dimitri's fadeaway is short. Sanaya Rivers with a heave. And a 1-point game after 10 minutes here in the Sweet 16. Coming up, Brooke will catch up with NC State head coach Wes Moore when we come back to Portland. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Moments ago, Brooke caught up with NC State head coach Wes Moore.
Coach Cameron Brink, just 2 points, and Kiki Yeroffen with 1 foul. What is your defense doing well?
Well, they're doing a good job, but of course it's very physical in there. We're getting in a little bit of foul trouble, so that's the I guess the counter of it. We're doing a good job though, trying to keep her pushed up where she's not as comfortable. But like I said, we got to be careful getting in foul trouble.
And how would you like to see your offense open up and get some more movement?
Yeah, we are. We're standing around a little bit. They're doing a nice job though, helping in the gas, but we got to keep trying to push it in transition, get some ball reversal, get some movement, and then try to get downhill.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you, Brooke.
This NC State team down just 1 after 10 minutes. Now for tonight's Need to Know, it's brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. This NC State team, again, disrespected at the beginning of the season, but here they are seeking their 8th win against an AP top 25 team this season and trying to get back to the Elite 8 for a 3rd time.
And a big reason for that is the defensive game plan that Wes Moore will come into the game with. And he has said he wants to keep the ball out of the paint. Well, you're going to sacrifice, when you do that, you're going to force Stanford to hit some shots, and they have early, but Stanford only has 4 points inside.
Kiki Yeroffen set most of the first quarter, picking up her first foul, only played 2 minutes, and there she is with an opening bucket.
And the combination of having Yeroffen and Brink on the floor at the same time, now that could cause trouble because really the only player of size is River Baldwin for NC State, number 1 in red.
They have brought in Maddie Cox, a true freshman, number 11 in red, and there goes Kiki Yeroffen at the free throw line.
Does she remind you of anybody?
I mean, maybe a WNBA MVP, a two-time champion?
Well, and one that wears the one leg sleeve.
Oh, do you mean Asia Wilson?
Absolutely she does. And I asked her, did anybody ever tell her that? And she said a few. I said, how's that make you feel? She said, I feel good about that because she's one of my idols, and I think she has modeled her game after Asia Wilson.
She also loves the one leg sleeve look.
Well, why not?
I mean,
when you can play like that.
That's what I'm doing it right now. Just kidding. Yeroffen in the high post. Hitting Bozgana, heading to the bucket. Giving confidence to those guards.
Well, and moving Brink and Yeroffen around, pulling the size of NC State out. But that mid-range is where NC State has got to do their damage.
Zoe Brooks with the bucket on the other end.
Look at Cameron Brink in the corner. She pulls River Baldwin. She has to respect Brink in the corner, and that's where the backdoor cut for the guards can happen. That mid-range, pure.
So good. So good.
She's a true example of putting in the work. She worked in the offseason. So much confidence in that face-up game. Number 44 in white, Yeroffen.
Well, I don't think you have much of a choice if you're going to go against Cameron Brink every day. And Cam told us they've had some intense battles, especially in the preseason, that helped both of them grow.
Well, the maturity that they have of understanding as hard as they go against each other, it's only to improve the ability of success of the team and to take your game to another level. You see Kiki Yeroffen, the jumper, hold the follow through, and Cameron Brink is loving it.
Isaiah James pull it up in Yeroffen's face, but leaves it a bit short.
Now what the guards have to do when they come for that mid-range jumper, they can't get so close to the post.
Hannah jump, outside, inside, does it all.
And Stanford runs a combination of the triangle and the Princeton offense. The guards have so many options, so many different ways they can score.
River Baldwin up and around Erie offense. She's up to 6 points.
Woo, Sweet 16. We had some good games today. You see the cut by Hannah Jump. Lapolo just drops a dime. Beautiful timing, leading right to the layup.
River Baldwin just picked up her second foul. Zoe Brooks pushing it for the Wolfpack.
You see, it's all or nothing with NC State. Running in transition, you had 2 guards on the perimeter, and Zoe Brooks took it upon herself, but there's no rebounding.
Short corner for Erie Offen. Woo, hold the follow through.
Mid-range. It's a lost art in the game of basketball. When you can perfect that, it makes you really hard to guard.
8 points in 5 minutes for Erie Offen.
She said she had to wake up. She had to make up for lost time with the early foul in the first quarter.
Then getting the rebound.
She's everywhere.
Jump bounces it in from the free throw line. 10 points for Hannah Jump. That leads Stanford. So now NC State working in the half court. Brooks will take a shot off the screen.
And nobody's going to the offensive glass for NC State.
Bosgana sees an opening. And it's going to be an offensive foul on Elena Bosgana. That was bold because River Baldwin already has 2 fouls.
The Kiki Arioffen, her presence made it felt. Out of area rebound, snatch, own it, and then find the kick out to Hannah Jump that pays it off in the mid-range.
Zai James takes a seat for NC State. There's a quick foul. Foul was on Talana Lapolo of Stanford. 6-point lead for the Cardinal. A season on the line. The Sweet 16 here in Portland. One of these teams advancing to Sunday.
We're fortunate to have Chiney Ogumike in the studio. We're talking about Kiki Arioffen. She also, I feel like, is a combination between a Chiney and Nneka Ogumike.
Okay.
I mean,
Ooh.
That's a great compliment because those are 2 great Stanford players.
Yeah, fantastic. Former members of the Cardinal. Madison Hayes looking for the 3 in transition.
Now, see, NC State is a dangerous team. You may think you can put them away, but no. Westmore will find a plan, move some players around, change up his defense, and get themselves right back in this.
Cameron Brink, her second bucket, 4.6 rebounds, 3 blocks for Brink.
You see Stanford playing more of a gap defense. They're not in passing lanes. They're really just trying to force NC State to stay out on the perimeter.
8 seconds, Sanaya Rivers. And it's blocked. 4 blocks now for Cameron Brink.
Best shot blocker in the country, number 22 in white.
She shut down Lizzie Williamson. And there's a turnover into the hands of Brooks. Brooks going over the nation's active leader in shot blocks.
This freshman class in women's basketball this year has been nasty. Zoe Brooks, you had Hannah Hidalgo, you got Madison Booker coming up later tonight.
Mylasia Fulwiley.
South Carolina. Juju Watkins, USC. Come on.
Let's go. We get to watch her tomorrow.
I know, I can't
I'm
not
so
wait.
excited. USC, one of the 8 teams that are here in Portland, 2 regional sites again this year. Cameron Brink, a rainbow three.
Now, there are two dynamic post duos in the country. You've got Cameron Brink and Kiki Arioffen to go along with Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow. When you've got to respect Arioffen down low in the paint, and then you got 6'4" center Cameron Brink that can dot it from the three-point line. Woo, that's a combo.
The Pac-12 Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year announced she is going to enter the WNBA draft.
In the press conference, she was making a campaign for Portland to get a WNBA team.
Brooke, what's been going on in the Stanford huddle?
There was a lot of energy, a lot of positive talk in the huddle here as we see Arioffen get called for the foul. Stanford felt like they were starting to get NC State tired. They said, keep running. We're going to get them in foul trouble. They look tired out there. I don't know, though. This is an NC State team came out of that huddle with a lot more energy.
And a momentum swing, Brooke, can be after you're able to draw a charge, then come down on the other end. Now, can they convert on this end?
Fourth offensive foul against Stanford. That's 2 against Arioffen. And then Maddie Cox throws it away.
But it does help the cause of NC State with Arioffen having to go take a seat.
The spin and the turnaround from Janiyah Harriel.
And Tara Vanderveer has gone deep into her bench in order to try to wear out NC State. Want to keep fresh bodies on the floor.
Rivers was looking to feed Williamson inside, and that's going to be Stanford basketball. Get this, the Cardinals started 4 of 17 from the field. Since then, 11 of 16.
But look, NC State, they're only down 6, but the body language right now looks as if NC State has a question of whether or not they can advance to the Elite Eight. You got to believe, listen, it's the first half. There's a lot that can be turned around.
Up and in for Bozgana. Six points, she's right at her season average. We're in the second quarter.
When you get to the Sweet 16 trying to get to the Elite Eight, that's 5 blocks for Cameron Brink.
She told us she loves it because it's absolutely demoralizing for the opponent to have your shot blocked.
Cameron Brink plays with so much emotion. I said, which do you like better, the and one or the block shot? She said, oh, it is all about blocking shots.
Little offense to go along with that defense, and Stanford is up by 10.
Pac-12 Player of the Year, Cameron Brink, is bringing it in the Sweet 16.
She has had 5 or more blocks in each of their last 4 games now. Already has that in the first half.
You got to get Brink a bucket.
The Cardinal on a 6-0 run, under a minute to go in the half. Second chance for Stanford. Harriel lets it fly, no.
Now NC State needs to really hold this for the last shot.
Shot clock still on. Got a 5-second difference between the two. They'll flatten out. Janiyah Rivers has it right now for the Wolfpack. Madison Hayes with a very contested shot by Brooke Dimitri.
That was early. Remember in the NC State's last game, the end of the half, Janiyah Rivers drove in and then kicked it out to Maddie Cox for 3. That time, I'm not sure what the Wolfpack was trying to get.
6.7 for the Cardinal. Stolen away by Brooks. Shot won't go. Stanford's going to end the half on a 9-2 run. They've got their largest lead at 10 points. Cameron Brink with 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks in the first half, and she is over with Brooke.
All right, Cameron, pretty good start for you and this team so far. What is the flow and seems to be like for you out there that's working?
I'm tired, but I don't know. Kiki's hitting some great shots. Our guards are moving. They're hitting perimeter shots. When they double, triple me, I'm going to kick it out. We're getting wide open shots. So.
Heard you guys talking about keep it moving, keep the open floor, keep pushing the pace there. What are you sensing from them that keeps you want to do with that?
I mean, they're a great transition team. They're super athletic, so we just need to get back, make sure they're taking quick shots, and then we're just going with it in offense.
Thanks.
Thank you.
A minute for Cameron Brink to get a breather. Stanford up by 10 at the half in the Sweet 16. The winner of this game gets either Texas or Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. NC State with some work to do and how to get around Cameron Brink. Already 5 blocks in this game. Let's get you back to the studio with Elle. 15 assists on 17 made field goals. We take a look at tonight's game track brought to you by Invesco QQQ. Meanwhile, the duo on the opposite side we talked about, Sanaya Rivers and Isaiah James, 11 points, 5 for 13 from the field.
Well, the thing that the guards for NC State have to do, they've got to get more movement, but also when they are looking to get in that mid-range, they cannot go too deep in the paint, get too close to Cameron Brink, because look, we could be on a triple-double watch for Cameron Brink, number 22 in white.
Oh, I think we are. She's got 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 blocks. There have only been 3 points, rebounds, blocks, triple-doubles in NCAA tournament history. Oh, but Kiki Iriafen just picked up her 3rd foul right as we started the 3rd quarter. So she takes a seat.
She's had to sit majority of the first half and now quickly, 15 seconds into this 3rd quarter.
Well, she's only played 7 minutes.
But did she do some work when she came in?
Yeah, 8.7 boards.
She doesn't need long to come in and be a force.
Here's Isaiah James at the free throw line, a first-team All-ACC selection. NC State trying to make its 3rd Elite Eight appearance in program history, but they've got some work to do. Stanford has been to the Elite Eight 22 times, looking to make it 23. Elena Bozgana, 8 points.
Again, Stanford with the vacated block. That gives driving angles for their guards.
There's the pick and roll to River Baldwin.
And NC State, they are in really a soft man-to-man, trying to keep Stanford in front of them, but Stanford has been able to drive past their defenders time and time again.
Cameron Brink with the long 2. We were talking about NC State's offense during halftime. In that first half, you called it paralysis by analysis.
Well, and I think that Westmore was able to address that in the locker room, because what I saw from NC State was, with the sagging defensive standard from Stanford, they were really causing NC State to think about where they needed to go instead of moving what they do naturally.
Isaiah James misses the shot. Inside to Brink. River Baldwin was trying to get another offensive foul, but no call, and instead a bucket for Brink. She's into double figures.
Look, I don't like the flopping there. Very easily could have been, because what you've got to do, if you rotate in, you've got to rotate to at least give yourself a chance to defend. But when you rotate just to fall down, no, you don't get that call.
River Baldwin at the free throw line after she was fouled by Cameron Brink, the first against Brink. Gets them both to go. She's an 81% free throw shooter. Lopolo has it poked away. Isaiah James all alone for the layup, and Sanaya Rivers was the one defending her that I think swiped it.
And I think the defensive pressure for Rivers, James, even Madison Hayes, take some chances, put some pressure on the ball handlers of Stanford and create some easy offense.
What's going to be the third foul against River Baldwin?
The quick hands by Rivers set James up to do the swipe or no swiping and get the easy two.
Yeah, Isaiah James and Sanaya Rivers, they talked about it as they go to look at this at the monitor. They wanted to be the best backcourt duo in the nation coming into this season, and they're certainly in that conversation. Let's take a look at this at the monitor.
The play is under review for a possible upgrade.
So they were reviewing the last personal foul that was whistled against River Baldwin. They went to the monitor to look to see if they needed to upgrade this, and they decided to leave it as a common foul.
When I looked at that, I thought that it could have been very easily upgraded. Not only the elbow that was above the shoulders, but also the hip action from River Baldwin. But the officials decided not to, so we play on.
Cameron Brink at the free throw line decides to call her own number. 13 points, 9 rebounds for Brink.
NC State's got to figure out, are you going to put pressure on the perimeter, or are you going to take a step back to protect the drives and the cuts? But at times it looks like NC State gets caught in between.
Cameron Brink took a tumble but laughed it off as she got up. The ball got stuck behind her.
Now remember, in Stanford's last game with Iowa State, that game got pretty aggressive. It was heated. Oh, that's a carry, dribbled over Lopolo's head. Let's talk about a high dribble.
I've seen a hurdle, but I've never seen a dribble over your teammate's head.
Whoop, all the way over. When you're 6'4", and it's possible.
I don't have that problem.
But in that Iowa State game, I think Cameron Brink let her emotions get away from her a little bit, and she is working, I think, really hard to stay composed in this game today.
And I know that you love the passion that she plays with.
I do, because now it can get out of hand, but I would rather have a player that you've got to pull back than a player you've got to beg to have it.
Yeah. It's her final NCAA tournament as she's announced she will enter the WNBA draft after the season is over. Projected as that #2 overall pick to LA. Kick back out to Lopolo. Too much on the three. And that's going to be the second foul against Cameron Brink. Isaiah James slow to get up.
Now for NC State, if they want to be playing on Sunday, then they have to play more with a sense of urgency. They're reactive defensively. Offensively, they're getting better movement, but on the defensive side, they're waiting for Stanford to make their moves, and then they're chasing. They're not taking anything away from the Cardinal.
And a jump coming off the screen. And Madison Hayes flies in for the rebound. NC State has outscored Stanford 9-6 here in the third quarter. Here's Zoe Brooks. Blocked by Brink, make it #6.
What NC State has to understand is you going inside, if Cameron Brink is there, keep your dribble alive and dribble and pull her away from the basket. Then you can get the ball back inside to someone else.
Well, when it comes to blocks, Cameron Brink's name is up there in this tournament with Brittany Griner, with Brianna Stewart. Not bad company to keep.
But the timing of #22 in white, Cameron Brink, is phenomenal on the defensive end.
Yeah, she's the NCAA leader, 10 games with 6 or more blocks.
And teams keep trying to shoot over her. She just got too much reach.
That's going to be an offensive foul against Cameron Brink, and her third. So now you've got Brink and Irioffen both with 3 fouls, and Kiki Irioffen is going to check into the game.
Now, can Erie often demonstrate the maturity she's got to and the discipline have, understanding she's got 3 fouls. She's got to play smart in order to stay on the floor.
Stanford has been called for 5 offensive fouls tonight. Pull up from Isaiah James.
That could be a momentum shift with Cameron Brink picking up that 3rd foul.
Brink did foul out of their 2nd round game against Iowa State, was not available for overtime. They whistle this NC State ball.
Now, what will Stanford's defense look like with Cameron Brink having to take a seat?
Mimi Collins from range, her first bucket of the night. She started 0 for 5. Closest since it was 22-20. Erie often misses going to the basket, but Brooke Dimitri with the rebound. Stolen away by Zoe Brooks. That's one fantastic freshman. 7-0 run, Wolfpack. And Tara Vanderveer is going to call a timeout as NC State has tied this up. Stanford's led by as many as 10.
And Cameron Brink having to go to the bench with her 3rd foul. You've got 3 from Mimi Collins. The Wolfpack keeps chipping away, running, gunning. Watch out for the pack.
Let's check out tonight's most reliable player. It's brought to you by Xfinity, and we're giving it to Sanaya Rivers. She's got 7 points, 5 rebounds in this game. NC State has outscored Stanford by 10 here in the 3rd quarter. But it's not just Sanaya's on-court performance, Brooke. It's what she's done in the leadership category for this NC State team that makes her so special.
Yeah, a great story of leadership, because after their loss to UNC at home, the next day the players got together and they wrote down on these cards that Sanaya Rivers is holding the frustration cards, and it was all about what does the team need more than really airing grievances. So a couple examples of that would be, let's take better shots down the stretch. For Sanaya specifically, she read one that said she needs to have better leadership in adverse times. Well, I don't know what's brings more adversity than this trip to go to the Elite Eight. So Rivers and all the teams, what I'm noticing too is accountability. All the teams left in this tournament, they all want to watch film and ask questions on how to get better.
Yeah, and Sanaya Rivers, Brooke, she carries those in her backpack. She's the only one that's read them. So when she sees little things creep up that the team mentioned in the cards, she'll gently correct it. She never says what was on the cards. Exactly.
Or says who said what.
Exactly.
Either. So they can trust her because she knows that any suggestions that Rivers makes, the improvement the team needs to make, it is for the good of the team, not to put anybody on blast.
Wolfpack have their first lead since it was 10-9.
Ever since Cameron Brink has had to go to the bench in foul trouble, the Wolfpack have been able to make their run.
Kiki Irioffen is out there with 3 fouls as well. They'll swing it over to James just by herself, standing in the corner pocket alone.
You see the momentum and the confidence continue to build for NC State.
James has 18. Again, coming off 22 points to lead NC State in that win over Tennessee in the 2nd round. A 13-2 run since Cameron Brink exited this game. Irioffen misses, and nobody was getting that rebound from Madison Hayes.
Stanford with the size advantage. The guards have the advantage right now for NC State.
Hayes the offensive board. Irioffen trying to work against Mimi Collins. That's going to be her 3rd. And Madison Hayes is shaken up on the play. Hayes is going to get up. That's a good sign.
Oh, this is Mimi Collins, her own teammate.
You know, she was just trying to go after the ball.
The previous play is under review for possible unobserved unintentional foul.
So you can see on that replay, they're going to double check this at the monitor, as Angelica Suffren just told you, to make sure they didn't miss anything here. But it was just Mimi Collins going after the basketball and came down into her teammate.
Yeah, that was just a little friendly fire there. I think once the officials take a look at that, they'll realize you can just play on.
After review, there was no intentional foul on the play. Play will resume from the point of interruption.
So Madison Hayes being looked at by Brittany Blunt and the training staff at NC State. But it looks to be okay. That's a good sign. Right now, NC State on a 13-2 run. Kiki Iriafen at the free throw line. Stanford has led by as many as 10 in this game, but they've only scored 9 points here in the third quarter. Well, the NCAA Men's Basketball Sweet 16 continues tonight on CBS and TBS. For more information on game times and networks, go to ncaa.com. The NC State men's team in action right now. Both teams in the Sweet 16. They're up 53-45.
I got to pick a new winner. My bracket is busted.
How long did your bracket last?
Well, probably the first 2 weeks. It was completely done last night. Now Stanford has both Kiki and Cameron in, and when they were running their motion offense, getting the ball to the elbow area, that's when good things were happening for them offensively.
Here's Brink, the kick out to Lopolo. Gets stuffed by Zoe Brooks. 3 seconds.
Oh, no foul there. River Baldwin might have gotten away with one, and that could be
That's going to be
4 on Cameron Brink.
Yeah, and it will be. That is the 4th on Cameron Brink.
Kiki Iriafen, I thought River Baldwin got her with the body there, but no call. And then Cameron Brink got caught up with the trip. That's why she was called for the 4th foul.
So now she has to take a seat. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 6 blocks for Cameron Brink, who has struggled with fouling out of games over her career. She's talked about it. She did so in her last home game last week in the second round. Was not able to play in that overtime against Iowa State. Had to watch from the bench.
It'd be so frustrating right now when you were trying to help lead your team to the Elite Eight, and all you can do right now to finish this quarter is watch.
Don't forget the winner of this game going to the Elite Eight to face either Texas or Gonzaga on Sunday. That game coming up about 30 minutes after we finish this one.
Now that time River Baldwin called for the foul. Both she and Iriafen battling for position.
That's the 4th on River Baldwin.
Now is Wes Moore going to leave her in the game?
She's in there right now.
Trying to get Madison Hayes to the table.
And Lopolo overshoots on the back door to jump. So River Baldwin will take a seat. Cameron Brink on the bench for Stanford with 4 fouls. River Baldwin on the bench for NC State with 4.
Really only one true post player on the floor for NC State with Mimi Collins, and she's got a mismatch with Lopolo on her.
And there's a foul on Lopolo, her 3rd. NC State has outscored Stanford 24-10 here in the third quarter after they trailed by 10 at the half.
I talked about in the second quarter that NC State kind of looked questionable of whether or not they were going to be able to pull it off to get to the Elite Eight. I see a sign of belief in the Wolfpack in the third.
Isaiah James gets in both, and NC State with its largest lead here with 40.2 left in the third quarter. Again, a team that was disrespected at the start of the season, unranked, picked to finish 8th in the ACC. They finished 2nd, and they're here in the Sweet 16. Wolfpack can take the last shot of the quarter. They have hit 5 of their last 7.
Keep an eye on number 10, Isaiah James, that's on the top of your screen. She and Rivers have a great connection.
James has 16 points in the third quarter.
I would find her for sure.
Yes. Rivers just down Main Street. And the momentum has shifted. NC State shooting out of the locker room to outscore Stanford by 18 in the third quarter. When we come back, we will talk to Stanford head coach Tara Vanderveer. Her team trailing in Portland. The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Moments ago, Brooke was able to catch up with Tara Vanderveer.
Coach, a change of events here in that third quarter. How do you kind of address the foul trouble that your team is having right now?
You know, obviously we did not have a very good third quarter, but hopefully we can get things back together in the fourth quarter, get Cam back in there, get Kiki back in there. We have to battle through it, and we have to take care of the basketball and do a better job defensively.
Isaiah James, one of those players that's really starting to bust out for NC State. What do you see as kind of neutralizing her?
We just have to play better defense on her, and we've made some. I think we just have left her open a couple times. I mean, she was wide open on that transition. But we had a real good first half. We have to build on that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
It's time now for Get More, brought to you by Geico. Isaiah James, she got some more in that third quarter, 16 points.
Well, she got herself open and available, and once she saw the ball go through the nets, then it was time to turn it up. She shot it over Kiki Arioffen a couple of times, and then everybody knows, number 10 in red, she's left-handed. You got to get on that strong hand and send her back to the right.
NC State had a season high in the third quarter of 28 points, more points than they scored in the first half of this game.
When Cameron Brink had to go to the bench, you just saw a sign of belief that came about, a sense of urgency hit NC State, and they've been able to take advantage.
Now, Cameron Brink is out there with 4 fouls. Kiki Arioffen has 3. Stanford only scored 4 points in the last 7 minutes and 30 seconds of the third quarter.
And NC State has changed up their defense now, going the zone because Stanford got a little cold from the perimeter. So now to protect the paint, the zone has been effective, forcing now Stanford to take outside shots.
Stanford 3 of 15, just 20% from behind the arc. No bucket, but that foul is going to be whistled against Chloe Clardy per second.
What is Westmore doing? He's putting the ball in Isaiah James' hand. She is on the left side of the floor, going to set a step-up screen, sending her to the baseline so she can drive to her strength.
Brooks going against Arioffen. Here's Madison Hayes. Cameron Brink comes over to help and shuts that down. How about a logo 3 from Isaiah James? 23 points. She's topping her 22 she had in the second round. Back the other way. James has Brooks. She'll feed her.
Brooks and Rivers. Rivers' leadership. James, I asked them, Batman and Robin. They couldn't decide who was Batman and who was Robin, but they knew they were partners.
Kiki Iriafen with the answer. 14 points for her.
Now Stanford's got to buckle up, and it is one-on-one defense because isolations is where NC State's going to.
James. And that might be the 5th foul on Cameron Brink. It is. So Cameron Brink's Sweet 16 has ended with 8:10 to go. Second game in a row that she's fouled out.
And all she can do in this fourth quarter is just watch.
And remember, this is her last NCAA tournament. She is moving on to the WNBA draft. Have we seen the last of Cameron Brink?
This is the Pac-12 Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, leading this season in block shots. Now can her team dig down to try to continue the career of Cameron Brink?
They did in the second round. Kiki Iriafen was fantastic. She stepped up when Cameron Brink wasn't able to. The career high 41 points and got that win in overtime against Iowa State.
Iriafen got foul trouble of her own.
She has 3. Rapolo by herself.
And it's a shooting foul on that offensive rebound.
And that's the 4th on Mimi Collins.
That was so smart. Don't come down with it, just shoot it.
This is the first. Well, the NCAA Women's Championship continues tonight with the Sweet 16. It runs through Sunday, April 7th when we crown a champion. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships.
We've got Oregon State and South Carolina have already punched their ticket to the Elite Eight. Who will go in this bracket? This has been fun.
Yeah, 2 more teams will join them tonight. One of these, and then Texas or Gonzaga. And a traveling violation on James.
Stanford defensively, they're switching on all screens. The accountability to be able to defend one-on-one, these guards, these quick guards for NC State, that's going to be the challenge.
Moscana is short. Iriafen goes after the offensive board and misses. And then a pileup, no whistles.
And NC State knows they don't have to be in a hurry. The clock is their friend.
NC State has been to 2 Elite Eights, the first in 1998, the second in 2022. It's going to be a jump ball. It'll stay with the Wolfpack.
I felt like when NC State got in front of Westmore and he could call the offense, it would help them in their decision and their execution of what he wanted to run.
And it's looked much more efficient. They scored more points in the third quarter than they did in the first half. And that's going to be the 4th on Kiki Iriafen. Cameron Brink has already fouled out of this game for Stanford. Now what do? Do you leave Iriafen out there?
I think you've got to, I would go zone. And I would go maybe a triangle and 2 on Rivers and James, but force them to stay outside. Both of these guards are looking to attack off penetration. So when you go a triangle and two or a box and one, you have help when they try to come into the paint. But you've got to change up your defenses a little bit.
But you would leave Erioffen in there to do that.
Yeah, you have to right now. If you don't have Cameron Brink to go to, look, with what she did against Iowa State, you got to trust your junior that she can put this team on her back.
Dimitri short on the three, and the three-point shooting woes continue for Stanford. 3 of 18. They've missed their last 7.
Now, Lopolo, number 10, the point guard for Stanford, she's got to be a threat. She's got to look for her opportunities to shoot the basketball.
Erioffen going to the basket. She has 17.
See, James wants the ball once to attack, one-on-one.
Beautiful vision to see Zoe Brooks hiding under the basket. And a jump. Her 3rd triple tonight.
But Stanford, too, has to do something to cause NC State to speed up.
Just open runway for Zoe Brooks.
Yeah, at some point, Tara's going to have to think about a timeout. Stop the bleeding.
Lopolo misses. If you're NC State, just keep going at inside. Kiki Erioffen's got to be so careful.
But you don't have to be in a rush. Use more of the shot clock unless you just go keep adding them up.
All right, BB Collins. And Tara Vanderveer will call timeout. NC State trailed by 10 at the half. And here they are up big in the 4th quarter, looking for the Elite 8. Outscoring Stanford 43-18 here in the 2nd half. Everybody knows her name, Caitlin Clark. Look, we're in Portland. Caitlin Clark is in Albany. We had a couple of fans take a wrong turn and drive out here with their Iowa gear on. But we'll take it. We want to watch Caitlin cook, too, and she'll do that tomorrow. You get to see Iowa and Colorado tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern on ABC.
It's going to be a fun matchup. Jalen Sherrod, I'm sure she will have the assignment of defending Caitlin Clark. Those two going at it. Woo, that's popcorn and a soda.
Maybe a box of candy, too.
I knew you were going to bring something sweet into it.
Meanwhile, it's been a comeback story for NC State. They trailed by double figures at the half and have dominated this 2nd half over Stanford. Cameron Brink has fouled out of this game. She did so with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left.
If Stanford wants to have an opportunity, try to play to get to the Elite 8, they've got to play through Kiki Erioffen. NC State has done a tremendous job of taking care of the basketball, and that's what they've done in the tournament all season long. 6 turnovers, only 6.
Well, and for tonight's Star Stories brought to you by Honda, Isaiah James has outscored Stanford in the 2nd half of this ballgame.
By herself.
All alone.
But you see now Stanford changed up and has gone to a zone to really stop the paint production of the Wolfpack.
That pass swatted away by James.
There's plenty of time left in this game. What Stanford has to focus on is score and then get a stop.
Where do you go for your points if you're Stanford?
You got to go to Kiki Erioffen.
44 in white. They give her the ball there.
Ooh, that's a nice move to the left.
22 for Kiki. 16th time this season she has hit 20 or more points in a game. She's done it in 6 of their last 11 contests.
And now can NC State be patient, disciplined, use a lot of that shot clock?
Mimi Collins leaves it short.
Stanford's got to get the ball to Kiki and let her cook. As long as she's going to be isolated down low inside, she has demonstrated she can produce.
She's got her 17th double-double of the season. This is a player that is scoring 12 and a half more points per game than she did last year. It's the 3rd best improvement in Division I basketball this season.
And she said having Cameron Brink, Kiki Ariafen did on the court, gave her comfort. Well, she doesn't have Cameron now. She's got to carry the mail for the Cardinal.
She does have to be careful. She has 4 fouls out there.
And Stanford's going to have to bring some traps.
5 seconds. Madison Hayes. All the pressure, but no problem. Imperial. Rebound by Rivers inside of 3 minutes.
See, Rivers, that's a mature decision, understanding. Don't go take a quick shot. See, that's the difference with the freshman. Zoe Brooks got to understand time and score.
Sanaya Rivers won a national championship at South Carolina before coming to NC State, back in her home state. She said she was a part of that team, but wanted a bigger role, wanted it to mean a little bit more, for a different feeling, and she has found that role, that leadership role here at NC State, and they're getting closer and closer to the Elite Eight.
And Wes Moore talked about he has seen the maturity of Sanaya Rivers since she's come to NC State. At first she was quiet. Now she has become more vocal, and you can tell she has the attention of her team. You see Sanaya Rivers, she's looked up at the scoreboard. She can almost taste it. Can she take her team to the Elite Eight?
And Brooks is fouled by Dimitri. NC State, one of those teams that's kind of gone under the radar. A team that wasn't ranked in the preseason, picked to finish 8th in their conference. They didn't let it bother them. They just went to work harder. Didn't matter what everybody else was saying.
Well, the style that they play, and it's individual players can play their game, and it's individual, but it's systematic, and they look to exploit weaknesses of their opponents.
Rivers in trouble, and it's short. Stanford wanted to travel.
Need to find Hannah Jump.
Jumps 33 in white at the top of your screen. And this is going to stay with Stanford. They'll go take a look at this just to make sure.
I think Dimitri was out of bounds before that ball got...
The out of bounds, which was awarded to Stanford, is under review.
I think they'll overturn this.
Did her foot come down before she released the basketball? She was trying to throw it off of Zoe Brooks.
Yeah, Dimitri's foot came down out of bounds before she could save the basketball.
They'll look at possession. They'll also double check the time on the clock here. The original call was that it was Stanford basketball. the ball hits the line too and then hits Zoe Brooks, so it'd be out anyway.
So if this ball is overturned and it goes to NC State, Stanford's got to look at a full court press. They've got to try to turn the ball over and go for steals, because otherwise NC State is just coming down and using up the shot clock. Wes Moore's got to be talking to his team about a press break and understanding Stanford's got to play in a situation of desperation.
After review, the play is inconclusive. The calling on the floor stands.
Okay, so it's going to remain Stanford basketball.
So now underneath out of bounds, you want to keep an eye on Hannah Jump, the three-point shooter. It's something NC State worked on in understanding the number one offense, the number one option of this underneath out of bounds is the inbounder.
O'Gara misses. 90 seconds away from the Elite Eight for NC State.
Like Stanford's going to have to look at traps and even fouling to get the possession, get the ball back.
So Harriel is going to foul. Cameron Brink fouling out of this game with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left. The Pac-12 Player of the Year. She's been the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference 3 times, a 2-time WBCA All-American. We may have seen her final college game.
All-American this year, AP, USB, WA, Sporting News, by The Athletic. We've watched her grow all season, throughout her career. When she came in as a freshman, she was a force. At 6'4", the versatility of her game. Blocking shots, shoot the three. And if this is it, next we'll see Cameron Brink play in the WNBA.
You think her game's ready?
I think she is. I think she's mentally tough enough. Her versatility should be one of those stretch fours that's a coveted position in the league.
Projected to be the number 2 overall pick in the WNBA draft. NC State playing keep away right now. And Isaiah James is fouled by Jump. 42.2 seconds for Wes Moore and his crew. James drops in the first. Winner of this one will face either Texas or Gonzaga on Sunday. That game coming up next, about 30 minutes after this one finishes. What a difference in the second half for NC State. Trailed by 10 at halftime.
Wolfpack was able to regroup. And Isaiah James just put the pack on her back and is carrying them to the Elite Eight.
So a scramble on the floor for the basketball. Isaiah James in there as well. She's had 25 of her 29 points in the second half.
And done it in so many different ways. She shot the three, driving to the basket, gave you a little taste of her mid-range game.
The call was a jump ball, possession arrow pointing to Stanford. Brooke Dimitri hits the three.
Now they can't catch Zoe Brooks to Fowler.
Look at the Wolfpack go. Trailed by 10, but never gave up in this ball game. Back to the Elite Eight for a third time